You're back for more of his Dark Materials on BuzzChomp, and we're reacting to episode 6. Oh wow, I'm Dan Salem, and I was totally surprised by this episode. It was all about revenge.
I'm Mandy.
I'm Dan.
Subscribe to
BuzzChomp.
Woo!
I loved this latest episode of his Dark Materials because it completely surprised me. I thought it was going to be about the death toll rising. I thought that it was going to continue along on the same pace the show's been on thus far. I mean, for the first 5 episodes, it kind of moved at a rather steady pace. It wasn't slow by any means, it just had a pace to it. Which is why in my last video I said I thought Lyra would be stuck in that jail experimentation compound through the rest of the season. But boy was I wrong. Boy am I thrilled that I was wrong. This episode was all about the revenge. We hit our climax of the season, of the first iteration of book 1 of the story, if you will. There's 2 episodes to go, and Lyra actually got revenge on her mother, escaped the prison, got all the children out, the Gyptians came and attacked, the witches came and helped, Roger's free, Billy became the hero that saved hundreds of children, maybe not hundreds, 50, it's hard to tell. And now Lyra's on a quest to go free her dad after freeing lots and lots of children and giving her mother comeuppance and destroying the machine and basically ending the experiment. It all happened in this one episode, and I was blown away. I truly expected Lyra to struggle over the last 3 episodes to escape, and then she would escape by the end of the season. But thankfully, the climax was her escape and her revenge. Her mother is her mother, but her mother's killing children to try to separate them from their demons with this altruistic view that if you don't have your demon, then when you go through puberty, you will no longer commit sin, and you will no longer be infested with dust. That is the most asinine argument for this experiment I could possibly imagine. Perhaps it's a hindrance to have a animal companion, but that's really your soul, running around for the rest of your life. You can't remove the soul from the body, and the soul is what creates karma and good intentions, bad intentions, sin, but then also gratitude, good deeds, the whole spectrum. You can't have anything without the other. It's balance in life, good, bad, black, white. You need them both or nothing exists at all. And so for them to think that you can remove the demon and therefore remove the desire to commit sin as an adult and not be, quote, infested with dust, which also I think they are wrong about, if I may add, is stupid. And so Lyra put a stop to it. She didn't just free all the kids. She blew up the machine. She locked her mother in a room and basically said, F you, Mom, and escaped. And then she flew away with Lee in the hot air balloon and Roger and York to go free Lord Asreal, who is the Magisterium's prize, who Marisa is going to be now racing to try to get first, but I don't think she's going to beat them there because she's way behind now. Even though this all-powerful Magisterium couldn't stop a bunch of rogue Gyptians, with the help of witches, obviously. And now they're going to supposedly control these bears. I must remind you that I have not read the books, and I have not seen the Golden Compass film. So this is all new to me. And it seems a little preposterous that all of the people in the world give the Magisterium such power and weight, and they are this all-seeing, all-powerful entity that everyone is bending the knee to. Yet when it comes time to actually fight them, they don't use magic, which is boggling my mind. I think that, like, the alethiometer is the most special thing in the world, right? And there's several of them, and the Magisterium has them, controls them, and uses them. Yet it can't answer a simple question of how to defeat its enemy with the alethiometer in enough time to actually use the solution. It doesn't have magic. It doesn't have witches on its side. Really? There are all these witches. There are all these bears, and none of them are on your team? You're not very powerful at all. Just saying. The bears, yeah, they're going to fight York, and Lord Asreal is likely to escape or die. We'll see what happens. But the Magisterium, they're not on their side. That promise of being baptized is kind of foolhardy. We all know this. Comes back all around to revenge. And it's interesting that Lyra's getting revenge on her mother. Now, her mother's been very evil. We saw the cracks. I read pre-teasers that I think later in the show she actually comes in to Lyra's aid. Now, maybe it was just the fact that she saved her from getting the demon splicing in this episode, because that was what happened. She ended up saving her daughter because she called her her mother, and you can't just watch your child die because she knew she was going to be basically dead inside, following through with the experiment, right? So she saved her. But now after the saving part is over, is Marisa gonna like fall by the wayside? Her experiment's dead. She has zero value to the Magisterium unless she can deliver Lord Asreal, and Lyra's gonna go free him. I can almost guarantee they're gonna step through the sliver at the end of the year and meet up with the unnamed boy on the other side who's being watched by Lord Boreal. I don't know exactly how he fits in, so I'm hypothesizing that he's gonna meet Lyra at the end of the season and they're gonna go team up together, because I feel like I read later on in the show books, the boy and girl team up. And I'm assuming he's the boy and Lyra's the girl. I'm assuming Lord Asreal is going to help her find a splinter to cross through, but I'm not sure he can actually cross himself. Because as we know, bombshell from last time, not everyone can cross. Only a select few. And we have no idea who controls it or what. We don't know. Maybe it's the dust that keeps you bound to the world. But then how is Lord Boreal not infested with dust as an adult? Very, very interesting question. Perhaps he's a witch. But if the witches infest themselves with dust in order to utilize it to do their magic, why do the Magisterium, Marisa, and the Oblation Board want to remove the dust, prevent the dust from getting inside? False accusation that dust is bad. I think they just don't want people to be able to utilize their magical abilities. I think they want more control, and if they remove dust a la magic, then they have more control. But it was about revenge. And Lyra got hers on her mother and the Magisterium. The Oblation Board is probably no more. We don't yet know the crux of the oncoming conflict. Sure, she's going to go try to free Lord Asreal, and there's going to be a conflict with the bears in order to get him free. But we don't really know the crux of the conflict with the Magisterium. If Marisa's on the outs, do they want Lyra? Do they even know about why she's, quote, special? We were told that she's special because she is a conduit to allow people to do the things they're supposed to do. This is tricky, very, very tricky ground, people. Because that means she doesn't actually do a lot on her own, which we also know is not true, so that's a really weird thing to say. I'm hoping for a blow-up at the end of the season so that we get like a cliffhangery lead into next season, and I think they've been overlapping nicely with the already showing the boy so that we can kind of get that by the end. But damn, this was a great climax, and damn, the revenge was sweet. Subscribe to the BuzzChomp channel for more of his Dark Materials. I'm Dan Salem, and I'll be following the show every week through the end of the season, and then I'm going to make some predictions for next season. Again, haven't read it, so these are just off the cuff, my mind working. What are yours? Comment below with your reactions to Lyra's revenge. Woo!
Thanks for watching BuzzChomp.
Subscribe and share.
Subscribe and share.
Subscribe and share.